Hello and welcome to our video today talking about rebuilding your business. So if you are just starting with Keep, you could also listen in on this and get some really great ideas on how to jumpstart your business. But there tends to be a time in any direct sales, any entrepreneur really in sales, where you feel like you've hit a wall, whether your sales have declined, whether you need to be remotivated about what you're doing and why, and or whether you need to really work on remotivating your team. There is a time, if you're not very conscious of it, that you have to rebuild your business and come back. You choose at this point whether you want to do the legwork and continue to build and grow and eventually become a very successful, very good leader because you've lived through it and you're there to help everybody get through it once they hit it, or you decide that maybe this isn't the business for you. Hopefully at this point you have decided that you want to try and tough it out because you're watching a video about what will help you get through those steps. When I started rebuilding my business, I had never been in direct sales or really a sales position before, so I was taken off guard when all of my hostesses joined my team and their customers followed them. I hadn't continued to branch my networking out and honestly had been miserable about follow-up and creating those VIP customers that would keep coming back and back outside of the parties that I had had. So when my hostesses joined my team, their friends and family followed them and became their customers, which depleted my customer base. It wasn't something that I didn't even think about it, honestly. And that is no fault of anybody's. I think that most people, when they first start this sort of business, will come into contact with this, especially if you're sponsoring some of your hostesses, which I hope you are. So I was not really active my second year in networking the way I was in my first year, because the first year I was building my business from scratch and I was intentional about going out and building this customer base and getting hostesses and it went really well. And in my second year, my first year had gone so well that I was able to just kind of glide on it and still booking some parties, but not a whole lot. And then suddenly I literally was on a sled going down, just kind of gliding along, and I hit a tree. It just stopped. And it was really, really hard for me to really dig deep and think about why and to see what I had done wrong in my business, which is absolutely fine because I found what my challenges were in the areas of opportunity and spent the last year really working on those and continuing to network and build outside. You will see a video after this on network marketing, and it is a really great tool for you to be able to expand your network and grow your business outside of your personal social circle. It's going to get you in front of new people that you don't know and hopefully new customers as well as new designers to join your team. But the point of this one is really to help you understand how to rebuild your business and get back into that. So I really like to say go to the beginning, go straight to the start. We know that Keep is always launching new pieces that are beautiful and amazing, and each new line, I fall in love with all over again, so I'm hoping you do as well, but we don't really have to worry about the product as much, and that's typically not the reason why any of us kind of lose touch with our business, but more what's happening in our lives and what's going on. So the beauty of this business is obviously it's made to fit into your lifestyle. Sometimes those lifestyles mean that something's happened, your husband breaks a leg or you have a baby, or somebody gets sick or you have to travel you get to travel, or many things, but you have to take a step back in your business, and that is okay. My biggest anytime you're talking to a team member or somebody who's going to be going through this, my biggest piece of advice would be simply to have something on the books for when you come back. If you're having a baby and you want to take a month off or 2 months off, that's absolutely fine, but make sure that you have something on the books for when you plan to come back so you're not starting from scratch. And it's always okay to take a step back from your business. It is not okay to take a step back as a leader, so make sure that you're communicating with your team and your upline so they know what's going on. But once you decide to come back, or once you're rebuilding your business, and you've realized now is the time to come back and really make it big, you have to think about why and what you want from that. You'll see another video about goal setting, and I really think that is a great place to start on what you want month to month and overall in a year, but also thinking about why you're doing what you're doing and the passion in it. And then it's very simple, just like in the beginning, booking 4 design sessions. Now, typically you're going to have to utilize your social circle to get these booked if you've taken any time off and a step back for any significant amount of time, because somebody on your contact list that you haven't contacted in 6 and 8 months isn't as likely to book with you right away. So using your social circle to get 4 contacts, we have these amazing documents on who do you know and who else do you know, where you could fill them out and hopefully get into a social circle that you haven't been in. And then getting from those 4 design sessions, starting from the beginning, branching out to get into a few more design sessions. What you are looking for when you're doing this is really just to kind of open up your market again. You could do many things. So these are going to be your the first 4 design sessions are going to be your steps to get some immediate sales in. But you're also going to have to start networking outside of that. And booking from those design sessions is going to help you do that. But that's really where you want to get into your network marketing as well. Getting your vendor events, pop-ups, or even just into some networking groups to grow it a little. Sorry about the baby in the background, but you'll get that from me. I can't keep him that quiet that often. So you'll want to build your network again and really start booking. I highly recommend a pop-up at this point because it doesn't matter what time of year it is. If you want to get back into it, you could grab a pop-up and in a local boutique. It doesn't have to be directly in your town. I always recommend going out a town or 2 out and getting into a new area, a new network. But it's literally starting from the beginning. It's daunting, right? You're thinking about it and you think, I did 30 design sessions a year ago, and now I have to start all over again. And it feels, it's heavy, it's hard, because personally, I felt like a failure, like I wasn't doing something right. So I had to eliminate that feeling in myself. It's said, it's done, and we're past it, and there's nothing I could do about the past. So what am I going to do to move forward? I'm going to send a thank you card to all my previous customers just for being a customer and to remind them that I'm here. And I'm going to offer them a new design guide. Whether it's an email, just thank you so much for being a VIP for me. I've got some new design guides in. Would you like to get one in the mail? And getting those kind of the communication going back up. It's a really great opportunity for you to do some follow-ups, as well as kind of touching back on your network and getting a little bit of growing in there. So follow-ups are my biggest area of opportunity. They have always been, and I'm continuously looking for ways to make it flow and for ways for my customers to feel appreciated, so they're coming back and they're loyal to me. And I think the thank you cards and the offer of a design guide have always been a big hit when coming back. And I focused a lot on getting out of my network because I didn't want to seem salesy. And that was kind of what was holding me back in the beginning, was the fear of sounding like a salesperson to my friends and family. So I decided I'm not going to eliminate that fear, but I'm just going to kind of eliminate the reason to have it. And I don't care if somebody I don't know thinks I'm salesy. I don't necessarily care if they don't want to be a customer of mine when they say, hey, I'm not really interested, take me off your mailing list. That's fine. It doesn't bother me in any way. I don't feel like, but when I'm doing that to my friends and family and they say that they're not interested, like there's a little bit of a halt there. Like, wait, why don't you like it? Why don't you want, it's beautiful. Why don't you want to look at my jewelry? And it would create, it's just a weird feeling for myself. So I decided that I'm not going to let that hold me back. And instead, I'm just kind of, I'm going to go outside of it and I'm going to work around it. So if that is one of your stoppers for your business, or even trying to get into that, networking through pop-ups and vendor events are a perfect way to get outside of it and get over that hurdle without having to even deal with it. So if you are rebooting, welcome back. We are so excited to have you. There are coaching calls you should get on the books right away with your mentor to find out the best way to accomplish your goals this month. And then finding out how to get into a new network to just rebuild. Because it only takes one good design session for all of that to, like, all of those good feelings to come back. So getting that good design session on the books for you is your number one goal. And then it just kind of flows from there. And you'll remember from now now on, moving forward, networking will be what you need to continuously do, even in small portions. A design session, if you're holding it, is a network because you're now in front of 10 to 15 people you don't know, and those are all opportunities to host and join for you. So if you're doing design sessions, they're even better than vendor events because you're like personally in front of 10 to 15 people, having conversations and introducing Keep, and they're touching it and feeling it, and they're not distracted by a bunch of other vendors and stuff. So it's a really great opportunity for you to grow your business and your network. If you are booking design sessions regularly and booking off of those design sessions, your focus should be on that, and you don't really have to worry about vendor events and pop-ups. That is simply to grow your network even more. So I really am jealous of you for all of those amazing design sessions with bookings off of them. I love that, and I encourage you to work on that. The longer you do it, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with your follow-ups, with your vendor events, with your booking from a design session at the design session. All of these things kind of start coming more naturally. So if you're new, or if you were only in for a few months before you kind of started pulling back a little bit, you weren't booking a ton, just know that we've all been there, me especially, and it really does become more of a habit building thing, and it gets easier and easier. And also look for some amazing videos from other rock stars who do book off of design sessions and do amazing, and listen to some of their top tips. Thank you guys so much. Good luck on rebooting that business.